Greetings, everyone. I'm holding right now a Philippine instrument, 14 string instrument. And if I may ask you, what is it? Is it a bandurria? If you say yes, you're right. But it is a bandurria that is kind of modified, a new innovation, new design, so that it can reach more higher notes than the traditional bandurria. Now, this has 14 strings, the same as the bandurria, but the tuning is different. And I call this instrument the Bandorlin. I came up with this design in about, I can't exactly remember, about 2016. And it took me a lot of many years to do research and study on how to improve the range and the tonal quality of our most beautiful national instrument, which is the Bandurria. Now, finally, I came up with a solution, and which still looks like a bandurria, sounds like a bandurria, but it reaches to more register, a higher note. And to demonstrate a little bit, this instrument can reach up to this very high note. There's an octave. That's what you call C7, the seventh octave. If you play the piano, this is a to get this note from the traditional bandurria, you have to be somewhere here. Okay, you cannot hear the notes because the lowest note of the bandurria, our beautiful national instrument, is G. This one. So if you go to 12th fret later, this octave, it sounds already a little bit muffled, right? But if you here, that's the bandolin. Why is this called the bandorlin? One reason is that the tuning, the first three lower strings is tuned the same tune as the violin. It starts with a G, and then it goes to the D, which is the fifth, and then it goes to the A, and then again it goes back to the D, and then G, and then high C. So interval is fifths from here, and from here to the end are fourths. So together, that's the open string sound of the bandolin. Why is this very important? It is important because, as I mentioned earlier, it extends the range of the instrument. If you play scale on the regular bandurria, say from G until the highest you can have a G. So it's good, very good. Now that octave is a little bit not clear anymore, and it's not your fault. It's just that it is too tight already. So then, if you extend, you cannot do anything anymore. But what I had found out is that instead of forcing that, then I just added another chord, another group of strings, and I tune it into a high C. That's this. This is what you call C6, open string. And so with C6, you can sol, la, then, but then how clean is that? That you can even go. So friends, that is the highest octave, D7. That's that re, the seventh octave from the lowest to the piano. So, and you can still hear it very clearly. Another significant change that I had to come up with in consultation with my luthier was the strings. In the bandurria, the group there are 14 strings, which is grouped into, let's say the first group is, there are 3 strings, second group 3 strings, makes 6. This, I'm talking about the traditional, but the third group 3, and then the fourth group 2, and then the fifth group also two, and then the last group is one. Now, I want clarity for every strings. So I have decided that if I will double the the lower strings, it can get more projection and more clear notes, not muffled that like this when you play. No, you can hear with two strings on the G. You can never hear this clear note in the Bandurria with the F sharp because it's too muffled already. Okay, and then that's the la. That's it. Every single open string is so distinct and clear, and it can articulate very well. So if you play low notes, try that in the Bandurria, and you will never get the same kind of clarity. So again, I'm almost threading into a line that I may be criticizing the Bandurria. I am so sorry if it comes out that way. I am merely pointing out the subtle differences that maybe together with technology of the Bandorlin, it can be applied in the Bandurria. Maybe you can achieve a goal of an instrument that is much more fun to play with, especially for young people. But I suggest that this is a very important change that was done. So if you play a low note, clean. Play a high note, it's clean. But then the way it rings, I just love it. This is the answer to all our artistic aspirations to play the most complicated and difficult repertoire for the Bandurria, which can be done so much better and easier with this additional, with this Bandorlin, which extends the range of the instrument. This instrument is made by Jay Sarita, and he did an incredible design for this, and just the bridge alone, I have to extend the this bridge in here so that it will lessen the tension of the strings. So because if it's coming from here, then there's a lot of tension that the strings will break. So this is one of the changes that was done for the instrument. Now, the problem is that how can I maintain the sound of the Bandurria, which is very rich and thick and nice? I told my friend Jay that we can make the sides thicker. The Bandurria is thinner. It's about an inch thinner. The depth changes it. So when you play, the sound is still very rich and clean. That's open string. So this is the Bandorlin, a new member of the Bandurria family. And right now, it's not yet fully accepted in our culture because it's new. What is difficult in that is that some players say that I don't want to learn a different way of playing because the tuning is different. So you have to unlearn what you used to be learning. Now, folks, it's only muscle memory. The young people can adapt to anything, even old people like myself. Okay, so you can adapt if you want to, and the changes are very minimal. I would like to say that this is not designed to replace the Bandurria. The Bandurria and this instrument can play together side by side, but it just provides you more possibilities than the traditional instruments, which is beautiful, but then unfortunately it needs to reach more higher range than what we have right now. I grew up playing the Bandurria with the Philippine Dance Company, and then with the Bayanihan Dance Company, and whatever. And I fell in love with the instrument. I fell in love with the ensemble because it speaks about my own musical soul. It's so dear to my heart. So this instrument is just my expression that we can do more, we can do better. So, uh, ladies and gentlemen, I just don't want any misunderstanding that this is done to replace the Bandurria. No, not at all. You can play the Bandurria, treasure it, and then I know that very soon all Bandurria makers are making better Bandurrias than ever. And these two can play side by side. But if you want to play somewhat that more with more range, then there is this instrument that's available. Well, having said all about the Bandorlin, now it's time to listen to something that the Bandor can do. So I have here Nubi de Leon, whose family has a long lineage of incredible talent and musicians coming from his grandfather, who's the national artist, Felipe de Leon. And then down the road, they're all musicians, and Nubi is a most respected and well-known sound engineer, and he also plays the violin. And now I asked him to try the bandolin, and we are gonna play for you the piece by Antonio Molina, Hating Gabi, which was really originally written for the violin and the piano. Nubi is gonna perform the original score from Molina, which was written for the violin. He's gonna play it in the bandolin.